Well, we did nature. We explored nature. Now, we did the context a little bit. Go back to the basic idea I started off with when I found this image, and that is, before you paint the branch, become the branch. Before you paint the branch, before I paint this branch, I become the branch. Is that a hiccup or something? All right. So let's see here. I am this branch in this picture, in this nature. And I start on the bottom of this picture, and I'm moving up, 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 and I turn off to the right, and then I go up some more, and I go out of the picture. So I am bigger than the picture. That's the first thing I noticed, that I, as a branch, am bigger than this picture. Whereas Mrs. Peacock is in the picture, and Mr. Peacock is also almost in the picture. But I seem to be much bigger than the picture. I must be part of some tree that I'm definitely part of some tree, of course. But this tree is might be quite large. I might be up here, way high up in the air. But I don't think peacocks can go that far up. So, is that peacock standing on me? No, peacock's on the ground, actually. This is a confusing picture, because the peacock looks like he's standing on the ground, but I look like I'm up in a tree somewhere. I don't make sense of that. Well, I don't have to make sense of everything. So I'm this branch, and I go up, and then I turn off, and then I go up some more. And I'm brownish, but I was painted with lots of space. This is one of those, maybe one of those Zen paintings, something or other, where they allow lots of empty space in the picture. So I'm not too crowded with colors and everything and details. I'm the outline of a branch, but I'm kind of transparent branch. I hear birds chirping. Now usually that would be regarded as interference, but because I can't afford a sound studio, of course. Then I hear pigeons crawling around on the on the roof and chirping, other birds chirping out there. That's right, in the morning. Now it's around 6:30, 5:30. So it's beginning to be morning, and the birds usually start off in the morning. Okay, so I'm this branch, and there are lots of birds around me in this picture, so I hear the birds. Birds, I hear you. I hear your chirping, and you're walking up there. And in this picture, there's a peacock and a Mrs. Peacock, maybe. And so you're my neighbors, and I listen to you. I listen to you making your noise. Chirp, chirp, chirp. And I don't make any noise. I'm a quiet branch. Branches don't make noise. We don't speak. I'm non-speaking. I blow in the wind. I guess if I speak at all, it's because I make flowers and leaves. So that's my speaking. I create life. I'm a branch. I take all this nitrogen and oxygen and H2O and stuff, and put it together into chlorophyll and cellulose and all this chemical stuff that makes me up. Although I don't know about that, but so I've been told. So I don't speak, but I create. I'm always growing till one day I stop growing, and then I'm dead, and then I just degenerate and start all over again in some other form. So I'm this branch that's always growing, creating, and I don't speak. I say it all through my growing and creating and supporting life. Now, what could I make of that? What kind of sound would be the sound of this branch? Okay, I think I found a sound. It seems somehow right. So anyway, going back to being this branch, I'm this branch that doesn't speak, and somehow I express myself by creating. But I need a sound for this branch. I'm a branch. I have a right to have my own sound too, even though I don't talk. I can have a sound. So maybe we can think like this. I don't have a rhythm, but I make noise somehow through my creatures. If I create this, that's a sound. If I create that, and then I create that one, and then I create that one, and then I create that one. We don't come together. My creations don't come together in one voice, but I'm always creating something or other. Yep, there goes something else being born. Something just died. Something is drinking. And something is sleeping. Oops, I think somebody's having sex. Okay, so all this stuff is happening inside of me if I'm... That's the sound of me as a branch. I'm the branch, and I'm constantly creating new life. But, and all my little things don't come together into one coherent statement. But if you stand back and look at me as this branch, you can see that I have some kind of form, even though it's not some kind of canned form that you can say, oh, that's mushroom soup. I don't have that kind of form, but I have my kind of form. You know what I mean? Like my form is also form. Formless form. That's my formless form. I'm the branch. I'm the branch with formless form that's always creating. Now, if I'm Franklin, now let's see how I can identify with that idea. I am Franklin. I am Franklin. I don't speak, but, well, actually, I'm a blabbermouth. But in what sense don't I speak? In my other sense, I'm always coming up with new creations. New life is growing within me and out from me, and that is my other form, my inductive form, okay? We got my deductive form, which always knows exactly who I am. That's who I am. That's my Henry Wepner self. And then there's my other form. There's my whatever happened to Henry Wepner form, which is a form that takes over when my other form dies. So, of course, we don't like the idea of dying. But if we look at dying as just letting that other form, that formless form, that no-thingness form, take over, begin to speak. Here is my no-thingness. All these videos, all this stuff that I come up with, which is somehow not my Franklyn Wepner usual self, that pops up sometimes. All that stuff just pops up out of nowhere. That is my no-thingness form that just comes along whenever it comes along. I can't force it. It just happens. So in order to get to this form, my everyday Franklyn Wepner has to say, stop, finish, to allow this other form to speak. Like this was happening to me just last week. It happened yesterday. Here I was. It was Friday night, and I go to the synagogue expecting my, quote, friends to invite me to dinner like they usually do for the past year, or so. And all of a sudden, nobody invites me. So I felt real sad because my usual sociable self was totally squelched. So I came home, and seeing that I'm not so religious in a traditional sense anyway, this is my religion. So what do? I make dinner. I call my brother at the nursing home. I had a little bit of companionship, but still I am feeling lonely. So I went to bed lonely. And here I am waking up in the morning, and I should be in synagogue, but I'm not. Instead, I'm doing my thing here. And you know something? I feel religious. I feel religious. Here I am letting my no-thing self speak through the branch. Hey, you know something? I'm having a dialogue with my no-thing self. Hello, no-thing self. This is Franklin. Oops, you talk too, huh? Okay, we found a way to deal with that conflict. On the one hand, Franklin is squelched. My social self is squelched. Lonely, miserable. And then comes along you, my non-Franklin self, my other self. And I am happy to hear you this morning. You're full of life, and we're having a dialogue, you and me. Me and my otherness are having a dialogue. Good morning. How are you today? Well, I'm okay. Yeah, well, I'm managing okay here. Yeah, I know, it was a rough night last night. But I'm glad you're here this morning.